Iguodala to Curry, back to Iguodala, up for the layup. Oh, blocked by James. LeBron James with the rejection. Irving and Curry, one-on-one. Irving puts it up. It's good. Kyrie Irving from downtown. And the Cavaliers by 3. Cleveland's long sports nightmare has ended. The drought is over.
I put my heart, my blood, my sweat, my tears to this game, and Cleveland, this is for you. Oh,
go ahead. Do your little intro.
Ain't nobody care about Cleveland. We just gotta go.
I promise I didn't do it so it could start twice, because I feel like you're gonna hold that against me, Wetson. I promise I didn't do it so I could do it twice. But I'll say this: the title of this episode is Cleveland, This Is For You, because we're gonna talk about Cleveland twice on this show, or we're gonna talk about the state Cleveland twice on this show. We're gonna talk about the Browns, and we're gonna talk about that nasty nigga. But welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Earth2 Sports Talk with Weds and Mo. Of course, I'm Mo, right?
And I'm Weds.
Okay, great.
Yes, you're Mo.
Hey, yo, what's going on, man? We had fun the last episode, so I thought, let's do another one. And you're gonna see 3 screens on this one today. It's supposed to be 3 people today doing the show: myself, Weds, and Jake. Jake is not here yet, but he will be here in a minute. But we're going to go, myself and Weds, and we're going to start this day off with rest in peace to the legend, Bill Russell. Rest in peace, Bill Russell. You are one of the greatest basketball players that we know, or well, that I know. How many time champion?
11.
11-time
champion. I think, 11-time champion. Some as coach, some as player, but 11-time.
Some as coach, but 11-time champion, man. One of the best big men that I know as well. Well, that I watch. Well, then again, I'm not going to say that I watched, that I know, given when he played and the stats and who he played against. But all of that aside, conjecture aside, one of the legends of the game, pretty much. So rest in peace, Bill Russell. Do you have anything you want to say to that? You want to add to that?
Nah, just the same thing, man. I mean, the man, he played in an era where basically being black and being on the court was a damn near crime.
Right.
And so to play and to thrive and live in that era and to do that is definitely admirable. So, RIP to him, condolences to his family, and hope everybody's, all the family's doing well and all that. But RIP to the legend, man.
Right. So we're really jumping into everything today because I think there's a plethora of topics we want to cover, and we want to make sure we have enough time to cover them. Next thing we want to talk about, or rather that I feel like we should talk about, we have talked about this once on the show, but I feel like it's something we should give a second, just a second or two to just cover, is this breaking news. Brittany Griner has been sentenced in Russia to 9 years for possession and of marijuana in the cartridge form.
Yeah,
we talked about this when we did. It was last week or a couple weeks ago. I think it was
about 2 or 3 episodes ago. I think we spoke about it.
And I think one of the things we talked about was because her coach made comments, and our thoughts on this aside, I just feel it's kind of unfortunate because you're not. Let's see, because if this happened in America, I would feel a little more fine. I would still feel like it's shitty, but I'd feel a little more at peace because you're in an American prison. But now you are in a foreign prison, and it's not just, it's something so like the way I look at it, right? I mean, the way I don't know how you look at it, but the way it's weed, bro. It's so inconsequential. Like, it's the smallest thing in the world. Yes, everyone has their policies and their their laws, but man, it's weed, bro. Like, I mean, granted, America's done worse or close to worse, and I feel sad in two ways because she's obviously dealing with this by herself, no family, because obviously the war, no one can go see her, no one can say nothing to her. But the second part of it is she's getting a lot of hate from a group of people that, because she is who she is and she's outspoken about certain issues, they're just like, oh, fuck Brittany Griner, she does not deserve X, Y, and Z. I that's not right. Like, let's relax, okay? It just sucks what's happening to her. But again, as I think we agreed when we talked about this, you do the crime, you do the time, bro. But come on, it's 9 years, bro.
My feeling on this one is
fucking insane.
we've spoken about this, but my feeling on it is it's unfortunate because she's being used as a pawn.
Yes, 100%.
She's being used as a political pawn.
Yes.
That's really what it is. Because if if they sentence her to 9 years, 9.5 years from what it says, sentence her to 9.5 years, including I think it's including time served, which is like the last 6 months. If they're sentencing her to that, we know it's because at some point is because they want to make a trade for I think one of the things we talk about was the fact that there's a Russian gun runner that was in prison here,
bro.
Yeah, and so it sucks that that she's being used as a pawn in this game that countries play when it comes to like negotiations, diplomacy and all the other stuff. It sucks that she's being used as such a pawn in this case, because 9 years is a lot. And again, I'm the same one that I think in the last time we spoke about that says, you know what, it sucks, but you also broke the law in a foreign country. But at the same time, breaking the law in foreign countries is one thing, but in this case, I don't know for a fact, but I can pretty much guess that if it wasn't somebody of like, let's say it was you that went there or me that went there or something like that, somebody that with no pull or with no like what do you call it? Yeah, with no pull, someone that they can't use as a as a trade bargain. Someone they can't because of that. If that was the case, I feel like it would they wouldn't the sentence wouldn't have been as harsh. But because it's somebody, that like you said, somebody that they can use as a pawn, somebody that they can basically go back and forth about. Because of that, I think I think that's what it is. And like I said, it really sucks. And I'm hoping that I don't know, something can be done, but it just sucks, dude. It really does.
Yeah, it really it's terrible because, again, as you said, I forgot to even point out that she is somewhat of a celebrity. She is,
yes, of course.
She's an athlete. She went over. She wasn't just in Russia to be in Russia for sake of it. She was there earning. She was there playing basketball to earn. And I think once the war started, America was like, "Yo, if you out there, you need to come home." And I don't know how in the rush, maybe she didn't really, because who knows how long the season was. She could have still been doing her shit. Like, no one was gonna say anything. And if without the war, who knows if she finished the shit and come back without any problems. But all I'm saying is it's very shitty what's happening to her, because on two scales, right? She is a celebrity, so she's someone of note that they can be like, hey, because even if without the war, right? Think about it, she's still a celebrity, right? So without the war, they could have been like, nah, you still hold some sort of sway or power in your country, so we can use you, right?
Yeah, and even if she didn't have any power, it's the fact that she is known.
Yes,
it's it's knowing, because like you say, she is someone who's very outspoken, and because of that, and she is known. So in that case, when somebody when they catch her, they say, you know what, we can get something out of this, and that's exactly what happened. 100%. So
yes,
it just really sucks, and like I said, man, I'm hoping something can be done, and to I don't know, like bring her back home. it just really sucks because again,
it's very terrible.
because like you say, I mean, you say it's weed, and again, for me, I'm not downplaying breaking the law in another country because again, every country have their own laws, and there are countries now that if you go, I think a friend of mine was telling me that she went she was in I think Dubai or somewhere, and she was with her husband, and I think she was talking to somebody, and they completely ignored her to talk to the husband to ask him as if like it's like she's not even there.
Correct.
Again, so it's like, and I guess that it depends on the country you are. It depends on how you look at. There are different laws for different places, and they get applied differently. But in this particular case, I think she's just being used as a pawn. It's not because of it's not because of it's not because of the weed, the cartel.
They're not trying. Yeah, it's not a punishment. Oh, you broke the law. I 100% agree with you. It's you are Brittany Griner, and you are of note, and we can get something. We can get something for you. So 100%, that's what it is. And it sucks for a human being to go through that, but it is what it is. Man. I'm praying for her. I wish her strength throughout what happens, and we don't know what happens. If they're able to negotiate something, we'll see. If not, she's going to be there for 9 years, and she's going to lose her basketball prime. She's married in this country. She has a kid, I believe, in this country. So it's just really horrible.
That's another thing, bro. Like, if she's gone, if she's out for let's say the next 9 years, is there a chance that she comes back to the to the WNBA and and play again, or is that something that's that's completely out of the question at this point?
That's a very interesting question, but it is. Oh man. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna put this comment up and what's going on, Drink? Maybe I'm a douche, but I'm glad they kept her. Nothing makes me happier than seeing us. Wait. Sometimes there's some celebrities that deserve it because they're douchebags. I don't think Britney's deserving of it. But you're right. There sometimes celebrities needed to be humbled, but I don't think Britney's the one. And
I mean,
hey Jake, are you back?
Jake is having technical issues.
Oh snap! I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You guys can hear me?
We can hear you.
There we go. I don't know what was up, but so my whole thing about Brittany Griner, and let me know if you guys agree with it. So being a CDL driver, we're held at a higher standard compared to regular drivers. Like if a regular driver speeds or like drinks alcohol, they have like a 0.08 alcohol level that they can get away with, right? Being a CDL driver, I'm allowed a 0.02. So being a NBA star or WNBA star like she is, she should know better than to bring any kind of foreign substance to a different country, that especially Russia. Like you've heard nothing but bad things about Russia for God knows how many years now. Does that make sense?
All my life, I don't think I've heard one good thing coming out of Russia, and that's crazy. So yeah, I get that.
Like I was born in 1990, and for my whole life, I've heard nothing about how Russia hates America. All this. I get that I can go into a different topic with the WNBA because the WNBA is severely underpaid, which is why she was over there playing.
Fuckingly. But you know what? Sorry, let's not get in here. We're doing another topic because Weds and
I'm sorry. You said they're severely underpaid.
Very underpaid.
Brittany Griner right now for playing a season is getting $300,000. For playing how long? How long is the season? I would have to go and look because off the top of my head, I have no idea.
Okay.
But isn't it like 48 games or something like that?
Let me see.
Which is severely less than what males play.
The WNBA season is 36 games.
And then the NBA is what, 82 games?
82 games. So
I get that. I get that it's comparably different. But look at like Kamala. So I'm gonna go back quite a ways because look at the Knicks back when they signed Carmelo Anthony and Amari Stoudemire. Both were at $100 million for what, 8 years, whatever it was.
5 years, 5 years for Amari. I think 6 for Melo. But
So
Jake,
if you do the math, that's
Mhm.
what, like roughly like 18 million a season, roughly from. So
Okay.
18 million compared to 300,000.
Let
It's
me interject for a second before you continue, Jake.
THT is making 10 million this year. Let me just say that real quick.
Hold on. Let me interject for a second, Jake. 36 regular season games, roughly 3 to 4 months. Roughly 3 to 4 months for the NBA season. 300,000. By the way, this is a league that generates around 70 million for the year. Is it 70 million?
Yeah, and the NBA I think is 7 billion.
The
So
NBA,
there's a huge.
The NBA generates around 7.5 billion a year, while the NBA generates around 70 million. You cannot pay NBA players the same way you pay WNBA players. And again, we're talking about, because if you look at it, where does the money for the NBA come from? The money for the NBA come from ticket sales, viewership. It comes from sponsors, TV, TV deals, jersey sales. The money for the NBA come from a lot of places. Whereas the WNBA, if you look at the viewership, for example,
the viewership is climbing though.
But again, if you look at the viewership as it is right now, a couple of things to keep in mind. Viewership for the WNBA right now is majority men. Women are not watching the WNBA. If you look at in the same breath as terms of like the men go out. First of all, look at it this way. For the NBA, the men will go to the game, buy the jersey. They will buy out all the stands. They will buy the beer. They will buy every single thing in that arena, and then they go home. They watch the shows. There will be 10 shows on ESPN from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. 10 shows, and everybody's watching. When those shows are over, they continue go on to keep watching, and then you know what they do after that? Those guys then go online and they talk about it some more, which means the NBA is such a much bigger brand and generates so much more money that you can't pay them the same way. You can't pay the WNBA the same, because there's literally not enough money to pay them. There's literally not enough, and already they are a subsidized subsidized league going to the NBA, and they already get money from the NBA revenues. So how much can we really pay them in comparison?
Do you want to take this, Jake?
Where did Jake go? Is Jake?
Okay, well, I'll take it.
Okay.
So in terms of viewership, the WNBA viewership is climbing. Again, we've talked about this. NBA is 75, right? WNBA is 25. If you look at the NBA in the 25th year, in its 25th year, if you go back, like the reason why Jordan is such a big star is because when he came in the league, the viewership for the NBA itself was dropping. So that when Jordan came in the league, he became a thing, right? He became a force. So if the WNBA is growing, and who knows when, but I feel like a star is going to come through, and they're going to get that star that's going to help propel the league itself, like Jordan did to the NBA. So let's not look at the viewership right now. Let's give it 5 more years. I'm stamping it today on this show. Give it 5 more years. If we're doing this show in 5 years.
No, I'm gonna tell you right now. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No,
I don't cut you off, but okay. I don't disagree with you. I think with the way the viewership is that man is a menace.
Why do I put out these comments?
But okay.
Go ahead, man.
I don't disagree with you in terms of like viewership being climbing, and how as time progresses, they're going to get paid more because again, viewership is getting better. And like you said, the NBA 25 years in was generating something around, I think 400 million, because I think I did the research, generating around 400 million on the time. And the highest paid player at the time, and the highest paid player at the time wasn't getting paid $100 million.
Correct.
So with that being said, it's like we can only pay you based on what we make. imagine a company, generates, $2
We've
million a
done
year.
this before, so you're not about to do Imagine a Company to me.
Hey, I don't mean to cut you guys off, but if you look at the last comment, it says that NBA is going to be moved to China.
Mhm.
Hilarious. That cracks me up.
That's funny.
But
yeah,
okay,
yeah,
if you look at Michael Jordan and his era, there's only, I think, one person that compares to Michael Jordan that brought the views and all that, and that's Kobe.
Showtime. Oh, okay. Sorry.
Real quick, Mo, just because I'm a baseball fan, looking at your hat, I apologize. Moving on.
Okay, I will say this. This is because I lived in the area, and also I like the color red. So let's not do too much.
So are you a San Diego fan now, or what?
No. I am a Yankees fan, but
In that case, sorry about the last 2 games out of 3. You're welcome.
Okay.
That's the
Jake, stay on topic, sir.
You're the Mariners fan?
Yes, he's a Mariners fan. He's a Mariners fan.
You know what? I'm taking your show right now. You're off. Thank you very much. Thanks for coming, Jake. It's been real.
Thank you. Hey, it's been a pleasure. Hey, it's awesome.
No, but Jake.
But if you look at Michael Jordan was on an elite level. If you look at people around his era, like Dominique Wilkins, all those guys, they were doing phenomenal things, but they didn't generate the spark that Michael Jordan did. So, look at modern day basketball. There's two different plays what generate people watching basketball right now.
Mm-hmm.
Steph Curry shooting threes, because you look at any teenager right now,
yes.
All they do during basketball games is shoot 3-pointers, which is insane.
Mm-hmm.
And then dunking. Dunking's not really heard of in the WNBA. Now, if women were dunking and whatnot and doing insane Vince Carter dunks or Tracy McGrady dunks, I guarantee you people would be like, holy shit.
Yeah, people.
That's amazing.
And isn't that what catapulted Brittany Griner? Because she actually dunked in game, and it was like, oh my god, Brittany Griner. And
she's one of the few women that I know that are taller than Wedson right now. So it's okay.
That is true. But,
there's a lot in the WNBA that's taller than me. Okay, but hold on, but Jake, and the same thing you were saying about
nobody want to see 360 layups.
No, but hold on. In that same breath though, you know things though. I think somebody has suggested to they were talking like WNBA players. They were saying, "Hey, this is just lowering the rim by a foot or so, to encourage more dunking, to encourage more and more of that." And the response was an emphatic no. These women have learned to play basketball since they were young, with at this level, this height of a rim, and you can't tell them they have to change that now, lowering the rim and stuff like that. It's like. But we're trying to find a solution to the problem.
But you also understand. Right?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, you also understand, right? So the science, sports science, I think the name of the show, it was a while back. They did a science on why it is a lot harder for women, because women are top heavy.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's a little harder for them to jump or to get the air. There is this young girl, however, I watch her games. She's coming up. She's going into college now. She is throwing down. Every time she gets ahead, if it's a fast break, she throws it down. So those things I feel like it's coming, right? Because we're looking at kids right now in middle school dunking on standard NBA rims, and you're looking at women basketball players or female basketball players doing things that men are doing at a close to a level that men are doing it. So I think all of that stuff is coming. Women's college basketball. Okay, this is a question before we kind of close this topic out and move on. Why is women's college basketball more entertaining than the WNBA? I think because it's more talented. There's a bigger talent pool. Hear me out. Personally, I think it's the same reason why, or it just could be because there's a lot more teams, right? There are a lot more teams, and so there's you can bring a lot more eyes to it. Which is why I think there's a lot more talent pool, because you have to sift through that to get into the WNBA. Certain shooters in college basketball don't make it into the NBA because that's all they are good for, and because of that, you can't just draft a shooter to just come into the league and shoot lights out. It's everyone can shoot. You're not that special anymore. If what you did in college was shoot from the corner, you're not special. I think. If we got more teams in the WNBA, I think we could expand. If we expanded the WNBA a little bit, I think we can expand viewership. More cities, more eyes, more talent. You can expand viewership.
I think I'm gonna go with the with the low in the rim thing because I'm gonna go with the low in the
And
rim
also
thing
could be the stakes, right?
because okay, well, back to the point you were making about the college point about the college, right? Like you
Mhm.
said, more teams, and also when you're in college, I feel like players are hungrier
Yeah,
in
bigger
general.
stakes. Yeah.
Yes, so because they're trying to make it to the next level, but usually when they make it to the next level, they tend to take it easy. For most of them do. I mean, don't get me wrong. There are some that that still try to excel and get better, but for the most part, they do. And as far as the WNBA goes, I still think lowering the rim is a good idea because again, it. I mean, first of all, for lack of a better term, nobody's watching now. It can't hurt. Why not try it? Nobody's watching anyway, so give it a try. If it works, great. You get more viewership. If it doesn't work, hell, go back to what you were doing, and see what happens. Because that's the thing with it. It's like they don't want to try. They're like, oh well, men are playing at this level, so we should do too. No, you're not men.
I
Because
mean,
realistically speaking, like okay, look at the men in the NBA.
but
Take a
Weston, let me ask you this question before you go on.
mm-hmm.
Women's national soccer team and men's national soccer team, who are you more inclined to watch? Be honest.
We say women's national soccer team or men's
United
soccer.
States, United States women national soccer team or United States male national soccer team?
Just
Which are you
United
inclined?
States.
Yes, let's just do United States because I would still watch a lot of female soccer than the men's side. But go ahead, let's do United States real quick.
When it comes to women's soccer, I usually watch the World Cup. That's about it. And
Okay,
but in being that the men have never sifted a World Cup, appearance past, what do you call
second
it?
round.
Past second round. Then I would say the women, but like I said, that's mostly because the men can make it there.
And do you know the women just was it last year or was it this year or last year? Just finally got started getting paid comparable to what the men are getting paid. And as you said, the men have never seen glory. Women are 4-time champions.
And they deserve every penny of that in that case.
All right. All right.
So, guys, here's I'm going to defend myself because there was a comment about me comparing the CDL to the WNBA, and then I'm going to make 2 comments. So, in life, depending on what your job is, you're held at a higher standard than other
Correct.
people. Government officials, all that crap, you're held at a higher. Like, if I went to go do say what Watson does for a living, I wouldn't know what the hell I was doing. So obviously, Watson's held at a higher standard than what I am.
Mhm.
For example. Now, statement number 2. Soccer is the number 1 viewed sport in the world right
yes.
now.
Yes.
So compare that to the WNBA.
Yeah.
Soccer, of course, is going to be held at a higher standard. Now, for both of you guys, because I can only think of 3 WNBA players right now.
What?
Can you think off topic of 10 WNBA players compared to NBA players?
In comparison, no.
In comparison, like
No.
can you name 10 people off your hands about WNBA?
Brittany Griner and Boogie Cousins.
And Sue Bird, just because I'm a Seattle fan, whatever, I get it.
Yes.
But
Wetson understands the joke, but
yeah.
and it's only because she said she can beat him in 1-on-1, actually. So I actually would pay to see that game. I would pay money to see it.
Her versus Wetson. I've seen Wetson shoot. He can shoot if Wetson's shooting from the corner, he can shoot threes. It's okay.
I would actually pay. I would pay to see Wetson and Liz Cambridge.
I would pay for that too, just to see Wetson lose once, and I'll be happy. It's okay. The dude's a beast. He can lift a ridiculous amount of weight. If he loses once, I'll be happy.
That would make me happy as well. Like if Liz dumps him off, I would. If she gives him 10 points.
Again, question. What did I do to either one of you? Like that's the question I'm asking. Like, what did I do to either one of you?
You blocked me for 2 hours because I say go Seattle after beating you yesterday. You're welcome.
Wow, that's insane. I actually agree with that though. DeAndre Jordan, because outside of
better at what?
Outside of DeAndre Jordan cannot beat you from the perimeter, and that's a fact.
Okay,
and if she is strong enough to keep him out there, she wins.
Okay, here's a ridiculous thing with that statement. Okay, that's nonsense. Because guess what?
That's why I would pay money to see Kane.
Because you know why that statement is nonsense? Because all she has to do is miss once, and she will never touch the ball again. DeAndre Jordan 6
So are they playing make it, take it, or make it and like it
Okay,
depends?
I would say basic street ball rules where if you make it, you take it.
Okay.
And from Watson said, DeAndre Jordan's 6'11", 7 foot, whatever. All he has to do is back her down and dunk the ball. There's no way.
Once, and that game is over.
All I'm gonna say is he better not lose the ball, because if she strips him the one time and she's faster,
6'11".
she's faster. He
dribbles
dribbles at the hip. You've seen DeAndre Jordan play. He doesn't dribble. He dribbles at the hip, bro. She can strip that, bro. It's easy.
He can hold the ball up here. She will never touch it a day in her life.
That's fine, but he has to bring the ball down at some point.
Not really. No.
To back her down, right? He has to bring the ball. And
he turned his back. He turned his back with his 6.5 long arms, 6.5 foot arms. He dribbles. She can't touch it. He put the ball in the basket. Are you kidding me? Why is it?
Hold on, Mo. I gotta laugh because Wetson actually turned sideways to demonstrate.
I saw that.
Are you serious? Like what?
Okay, back on topic, guys.
Yeah, real quick.
Brittany Griner took a illegal substance into a different country, and it's unfortunate, but she's being penalized for it. I agree with what Mo said.
That is different country. Russia. Like,
I understand that, but I agree with Mo and I agree with you, Wetson, that she's being used as a pawn, and whatever this war thing is with America and Russia right now, and basically they're going to try to get some kind of either money or people released for them.
Yeah,
I think it's a political thing, not a sports thing.
It's not.
Absolutely.
All right, moving on. 6 games. 6 fucking games.
Real quick, that helmet logo is ridiculous. Oh my gosh.
6 games. Like, all I can think about is, listen, I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna flash a quote real quick. I think it's fake, but I don't know how real it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's probably a fake quote. But let's start here. 6 games for all the nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to know where you guys feel like. Where does everyone? What do you guys?
Mo, I'd like you to start, and then Jake, and then I'll go last.
Because honestly,
whoa! Hey, this isn't an Oreo. How about you go first, Watson? Then Mo, then me.
No. Oh God. By the way, that joke is because Jake is white. By the way, whiter than chalk.
I'm white as shit. It's okay. I'm a white.
I love it. You know what? Fuck it. I love it.
Go ahead. No.
If you want, hey, I'll let me say this. I'll start off, and then you guys can do whatever.
Okay.
So he had 26.
Then Mo. Yeah.
He had 26 cases against him, right?
Right.
I believe that if he was a normal human male that wasn't in a professional athlete, that he would be in jail right now, labeled a rapist, and being held to all this stand of the law.
Okay.
That's not holding anything back because the NFL said that they're looking at extending the 6-game suspension to see whatever they decide.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have 26 grown females saying that you sexually assaulted me, something worse than 6 games should have happened.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Go ahead, Mo. You're up.
Everything Jake said, and I think I'm just gonna add to this. I think the one that got me the most was what the judge said and why the judge decided 6 games was okay for this. She said she looked at all the evidence, which is fine. You know, you have to look at that as a judge, and after looking at all the evidence, decided it wasn't a violent, like what he did or what was alleged. Let me change my language. What was alleged that he did wasn't violent, and because it wasn't violent, it wasn't like she decided 6 games was good enough, and that pisses me off because if we look at the history, I think if you look at the history of the NFL and when it relates to women, right, or women under attack, it just feels very relaxed, and I think that's what pisses me off the most. And I feel like I'm a black man, and I'm saying this as a black man, and I feel like this was a chance for the NFL to actually do something, say, hey, look, we protect women, I also think what happened is unfortunate and makes it harder. Granted, the 2 grand juries didn't indict, so it didn't go forward as a criminal case. It's still, I think, being heard in a circuit court or at this point now it's just lawsuits. I just think it's crazy that he got 6 games, and after I can't even put the words together. 6 games is insane. It's ridiculous. I'm sorry, and that's and I'm glad the NFL said, oh, there it is. The judge says 6 games because she wanted to force Goodell to appeal and set a league president with this. So yeah, it's up to the NFL at this point, because I think today Goodell says he's going to do something about it. One more thing before Wetson goes. Deshaun is very adamant that he did nothing wrong. And on the flip side of it, the Browns owner is like, Deshaun is apologetic for everything he's done. So I'm just confused at the misinformation, or if there's misinformation, or if Deshaun is really sorry, or if Deshaun is really saying that he didn't, he's still saying he did nothing wrong. And I think if he's very adamant that he did nothing wrong, the NFL should step in and take the season from him, in my opinion. Wetson.
Okay. I would like to start by saying the opinions said here is not reflective of Earth2 Sports Talk or Mo or Jake, for that matter. It is solely the opinions of Wetson
or the viewers. Okay,
it is
this is just Wetson.
of Wetson and Wetson only. Okay. Without any jokes and stuff like that. The thing about it is, though, I mean, again, for me, I could easily go on the side of, like he was accused by 10 women, 20 women, 30 women. I can easily go by that. But something that I've seen that happens, and it's a reality, it's not something that I'm making up. The amount of wrongful, accusation that has happened and that has ruined men's lives is out of this world. And usually when those accusations come back with nothing, you know what we hear? Oops. Oh, well, keep it moving. We never hear about it again. And a lot of those cases, those men's lives are never the same, because even though they were proven innocent in a lot of cases, the court of public opinion now condemned them forever. Is that the case for Deshaun Watson? I don't know. Am I defending Deshaun Watson? Absolutely not. What I am saying is there have been plenty of cases of wrongful accusations, and the motive is simple. The motive is money. If one person came forward and say, and one person came forward, I think there was talk that the Texans had paid off the people, that was like, massaging him, or the place that he was going to. Texans had paid them off. If one person came forward and they got paid from that, what's to stop the next 10 people, that was in the same situation to say,
correction,
yep.
Correction. The Texans didn't. Texans got sued by them, and the Texans settled. So the Texans have settled their case. Okay. Deshaun Watson is also settled, I think, 24.
Okay, but but the point I'm making here is the fact that it's very much possible. It's very much possible that those accusations are simply to make money. Why? Because there's money to gain from that, and if they lose, if the accusation go nowhere, nothing happens. Nothing happens, to any people who accuse him. Now, here's where the question, my question lies is: are we talking from a moral standpoint or a legal standpoint? Because from a moral standpoint, what he did, you could say, he's nasty, disgusting, or stuff like that. Yes, from a moral standpoint. From a legal standpoint, was it consensual, between the people?
We're hearing it's not.
Okay,
we're hearing he exposed himself to women, so that's legally that's
okay. But again,
good.
I feel like there needs to be more info brought forth to the public and whatnot, so we can get a better understanding of what's.
That's where I'm at with it.
Because leading on to what Watson said about males being accused of stuff just for money, look at the whole Johnny Depp situation. He got accused of a shit stud.
He actually, there was no accusations. He sued. Okay, the Johnny Depp situation is weird because Amber Heard wrote an op-ed, didn't mention any names, just said, "Oh, this is what happened to me in a relationship I was in." Johnny Depp's people read that op-ed and said, and Johnny Depp goes, "This sounds familiar." Now, when I heard that, I was like, this is fishy, because why would anyone ever be like, "Oh, this is about me," and then out themselves? And when stuff came out during the case, they were both fucking toxic. I'm team fuck both of them, actually.
Because you know exactly what would happen in that case. Because again, you know what would happen? You know what happened if Johnny Depp said nothing? People would basically say, you know what? She's been with, she's with from 2 years and stuff.
Listen, it's sus as fuck, bro.
Listen,
thank you.
These men play, they train and stuff
bro,
like that.
Come on.
They need massages.
You have a team doctor, and you have, I'm pretty sure the Texans at the time had team masseuses and they could provide you with most.
And this is where I'm coming from with it. Or we talk
was on Instagram. He was on Instagram, bro. Like, I don't care.
Listen to me.
Nobody's in Instagram DMs has.
Are you listening to me, sir?
Motives.
Are we talking from a moral standpoint or a legal standpoint? Because morally, we could condemn him under however we see fit. From a legal standpoint, unless he is guilty on a legal standpoint, then he is being judged by the court of public opinion. And again, am I defending him and telling you he's innocent? Absolutely not. I'm saying I don't have enough information, and clearly neither did the judge.
Go watch the Real Sports thing. Mm-hmm. You see, when it comes to the courts, right? As you said, I agree with you. It's hard to prove. This is why rape is hard to prove in itself, and because it's it's all he said, she said, right? And then
not only that,
if you get the physical, then there's a rape kit.
Not only that, though, but especially like as a man, it's harder to prove. It's harder to prove you're innocent than you is to prove
What? Big Ben got 6 games for actually doing something, and which is crazy. He should get more. He should have gotten more.
Okay.
Deshaun.
No, but
so the thing with the case that we can all agree upon is that more info needs to be brought forth to let us know what's going on.
Correct.
But it's really suspect to have 26 different women.
But that's moral.
To have no. From a legal standpoint, is it not suspect to have 26 different cases brought upon you saying he sexually assaulted me?
Legally, no, because guess what? They stand to benefit from it. I'm not saying they're wrong. I'm not saying nothing happened to them. I'm saying being that we have, like there's proof that, some of them were paid after they came forward or whatever it is, after they sued.
This dude is crazy, bro. Like, again, what?
Yo, here's the thing. All you people listen to me. I'm
listening to you. My bad.
I'm not telling you he's I'm not telling you he's not a creep. He's not. I'm not saying he's not any of those things. What I'm saying to you is that we don't have. I don't have enough to condemn him outside of the court of public opinion because from what we have seen from the evidence, they don't have enough to charge him. They don't have enough to to basically say, listen, based on this, and this, you will go to jail for X amount of time.
Right. You're 100% correct.
Could he be a disgusting pig who's out here, every time you get a massage, pull his dick out? Absolutely. However, is that the case? We don't know.
Okay, so here's where I agree with you up to the point of it's hard to prove, right? But this is where I disagree with you. I disagree with you because, for one, I watched the Real Sports show with I watched the Real Sports show with Brian Gumbel, and he interviewed, I don't remember how many he interviewed, but he interviewed a bunch of them. Mm-hmm. A lot of these stories are very similar, and they're very similar because it's obviously the same person and doing almost the same things. The second part of it is, as a person, me, if I go on Instagram and if I was an athlete and high-paid athlete, if I'm going on Instagram to solicit women to come give me massages, I know why I'm doing it. Again, I'm just using my personal, if I was, but the other part of it that struck me is that he got sued by 24, 25, and only 20 women settled. The other were like, no, we don't want to settle because we don't want it to be that we're here for money. We want our story to be told. So that's something to me. So to your point, it could be for money. But if someone says, I don't want the money from this because I want my story to be out there and I want people to hear me and I want people to, people to not be afraid to speak up.
Question for
And
you,
yes,
sir.
another
Question for
thing is because rape is such a hard thing to prove in the legal system on its own, I am a little inclined to listen to women because if 60 different women that he solicited, sus as fuck, but if 20 or 24, 30 of them come forth and say this is what happened, bro, at some point you gotta look at the person and you gotta think, yo, like this is telling close to the same story. Like it's hard, bro. It's hard. It's just difficult for me. But the moral part of it, yes, I think we all agree on the moral part, right?
Well, here's the thing. So if 24 women, out of those 24 women, 20 are suspect, but 4 actually had whatever happened to them, sexually assaulted, rape, whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
Those 4 women should still be heard and brought out. Same thing if men got raped by females or other men or
Right.
whatever. Those people should still have their stories be heard, whether
Correct.
it's moral or whatever. Like right now, like if, for example, my fiance, when something happened to her and she was sexually assaulted, I'd be pissed.
Right.
I'd be livid. But if, say, well, I just went blank. Sorry, white person moment.
It's fine, but
If 24 women accuse you of it and 4 actually say 20 are trying to get money for it or whatever, because God knows every athlete, when something scandalous like this happens, there's always those people that are trying to get money.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Saying, hey, he did this, hey, I want 1 million, and if you give me $1 million, I'll stop and drop charges, whatever.
I'm gonna go one step further. Sorry, I don't want to cut you. I'm gonna go one step further. If he's guilty of sexually assaulting 1, then he should definitely pay the crime. He should definitely pay the fines. Do the time. He should definitely be found guilty. If he assaulted even 1, and again, the reason I said if is because, again, and in terms of the women that says, you know what, I don't want to just be paid for this. I want to wait longer, or I want my story told. I want the money from it. And again, if he is guilty of those things, absolutely, he should be found guilty. Listen, ban him from the NFL for all I care. If he is guilty, absolutely, throw the book at him. I don't care. All I'm saying is, the only thing I'm saying is, and again, this is not against any one person. All I'm saying is, if it's not a legal thing and it's a moral thing, listen, let him figure that out, with his,
what you're saying is that in essence, let his karma find him whenever it finds him.
Listen, right? I don't care what happens to him, let that happen. But I'm saying to punish him because of the court of public opinion, that is a problem. Because guess what? Because what's to stop the next group of people who let's say they weren't comfortable in a situation or they regret something they do in a situation, because that does happen also. What's to stop them from saying, it's a gray area, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and file charges.
Your if question is a slippery slope, and I feel like it's a slippery slope because I'll answer. I think it's only fair to say because this has already gone to it's already gone to court, right? Mm-hmm. And the grand jury couldn't indict because again, if we look at rape cases in this country, it's hard to prove because it all comes down to if there's no physical evidence, right? If there's no physical evidence like rape kits and all that stuff, if you can't find that, then it comes down to he said, she said. Mm-hmm. And because of that in its own self, it's hard to prove. And because of that, you're finding more and more women are not willing to come forward when that happens. So it's because they know nothing will happen at the end of the day, especially if it's a high profile man. In Deshaun Watson's case, he's a high profile man, NFL star. He has the NFL behind him. He has the team behind him. So it's hard to come out and say he did this to me. Absolutely. And so you got to think about the women that are actually do come out who will because again, yeah, you make money, right? But you have to walk through this world of where people are always going to look at you like, did he really touch you or did you just want this for money? Or why are you lying on a black man? Because that's the way the story is going to go now. And so on and so forth. I mean, look at what happened with Ben. even though he got the 6 games, the woman never really like. Then again, that also happened in the age of where social media wasn't like super right? Wasn't a super thing. Can you imagine if that happened in this day and age? Ben Roethlisberger would not be the Hall of Famer he is about to be right now.
He would have been like excommunicated from the
Exactly,
NFL.
100%.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Kobe Bryant. When that happened, he's also lucky that it didn't happen in the social media age, because now in the social media age, court public opinion is going to be split in two, right? We're going to have the people that say they're only in this for the money. I mean, look at what happened with Bill Cosby, because again, it's so long ago, no one can, you understand? So that's going to be, so it's hard to prove. All in all, what I'm saying is, okay, I think all of that to say this: should the NFL step in? Should he lose more games, or is 6 enough?
Well, here's a counter question to you. Do you think? Because I have my own opinion, and then I read a story about this on Yahoo Sports that I want to bring up. Do you guys think the NFL's basically their defense to what they're doing to players is adequate enough to basically the crime? And I bring that up because I read this story today on my break that said Deshaun Watson's getting a 6-game suspension, but then you look at Deandre Hopkins. I think he was suspended 8 games last year for drug abuse. Mm-hmm. Then you look at Calvin Ridley; he was banned the whole season for gambling. Okay. So do you think
not violent? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Finish, Jake. Finish your question.
Yeah, finish your question.
Do you guys think that the NFL suspension penalty, all that stuff, is adequate or up to date with what should be appropriately deemed responsible for the situations that are given to people? Because I feel like gambling on the game is a lot less of a hindrance or penalty or whatever you want to call it to drug abuse and sexually, yet to be proved sexually assaulting another person.
While I look at both crimes as non-violent, right? DeAndre Hopkins, I think it's this year, right? He's gonna try to appeal it, so he's gonna lose 6 games this year because he got tested. Was it 6 or 8?
6 games.
Yeah, 6 games.
6 games. Yeah. Something like that.
1, he's doing it to himself, and 2, but he does gain an advantage, right? He does gain an advantage, quote unquote, over other players. He gets to be fat. I mean, keeping up with these young corners that are coming in right now, you still got to keep yourself at a number. I mean, Madden rated you top 10 in the wide receivers. So he's getting older. He has to keep up. So yes, but it's a non-violent and non-like. It's not that bad. Like morally, it's not the craziest thing you can do, right? Gambling on the game is different to me because you can influence points, right? And plus you're also getting paid. And then I think it's also in the contracts, right? Don't they sign contracts?
Comment just mentioned some of the players' contract. But if you look, I mean, I think that stemmed from back in the day when Pete Rose did his gambling thing or whatever.
Okay. All right. So let me try to answer this.
So gambling, again, non-violent, you're kind of doing it to yourself. And if we saw a lot of games. I saw a clip of Calvin Ridley's from last year where he's like, he would catch the ball and have like green and daylight and would slide short. Yes, that's fucked up. What Deshaun Watson has done, or again, he hasn't been charged of a crime, of an actual crime, and an outside judge was the one who imposed a 6-game ban on him. And I think an earlier comment said the ban, the 6 games was done by the judge specifically so the NFL can appeal and
investigate further,
right? But this comment is where I was actually going to say. So he used his influence to prey on women, and I think that in its own morally is fucking should be is morally what's the word I'm looking for? Reprehensible. Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
It's just wrong. And again, but the thing is, when it went to court, he wasn't charged of a crime.
Okay.
And I think when the NFL looks, or when the judge looked at it, she again in her statement she said it was nonviolent and there was no real crime committed. So because of all of these circumstances, she felt 6 games was enough. But to answer your question, I think the NFL should 100% step in, and they should refine their punishments or their the way they look at certain crimes, because I feel like we've for years and years we've been looking at the NFL take very, very loose stance on what happens with women, where there's players beating their wives or assaulting their women and coming back to play like 6-8 games later. The NFL needs to look at that as a whole and look at themselves and say.
So to add on to what you said, Ray Rice, he did whatever he did to his girlfriend, pulled her out of the elevator. It was 4, 5, 6 years ago or whatever.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Okay. Now let me try to answer all your questions into one. Okay. Is the NFL doing enough when it comes to protecting women against some of those things? That is almost like a loaded question, because we're talking allegations. The reason why I say it's a loaded question is because if allegations is all it takes for you to be, suspended for extra games, or be banned or lose the whole season, if allegations is all it takes, that starts a slippery slide on the flip side of things.
Well, can I ask you a question before you go real quick? So if this happened in season, if this came out in season, what would you do if you were the NFL? Would you let him finish out the season, or would you pull him away because of what it could bring to the game in a moment?
So you mean like, take the attention away from the teams, or put heat on the NFL? That is still a court of public opinion.
All right.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
And again, I don't want, okay. By the way, guys, please bear with me. I don't want to be that guy. I really don't. I don't want to be the guy who say, but at the same time, I also don't want to be part of the echo chamber to say, I also don't want to be part of the echo chamber to say, absolutely, he's absolutely wrong. He should be, he should be banned. Like, I don't want to be part of that echo chamber, because my biggest thing is, and Mo and Jake, you guys both know this, I'm all about questioning things. I question everything. And I mean, I question everything. So with that being said, I'm simply questioning the facts versus, just a public opinion. That is all. So with that, and so as far as gambling goes, gambling is, gambling, there was proof of that. He was wrong. He was punished to it. Sent to Russia, maybe exchange him for Britney. Maybe that could work.
Hey, listen.
Hey, that'll help at WNBA if they lose viewers on the NFL and stuff.
So I'm like, it's okay. So I'm saying though, gambling, that was proven. Drug enhancing drug, that was proven. Those are allegations. There's a difference. They can't punish them all the same, and that's all it is. And is NFL doing enough to protect women, especially because there's been cases of like players beating their wives and stuff like that? No, I don't think they're doing enough. I think they could always do more. But again, I think this is the part where, because now, and let's face it, you're an athlete. You're 24, 25, 26. Hell, you're an athlete. You make, 10, 12, 30, 40, $100 million, in the contract. When you're young, you're young, you're not married, or even if you're married, what do these guys want to do? They want to party, and they want to sleep with women. And, so with that being said,
that sounds like a real abusive massage right there. I'm just saying that.
Hey, I sent Weston a clip earlier this week of a rookie and what's his name?
Training with Aaron Donald.
Yo, Aaron, like what? If I was a rookie, I'd quit.
Sir, this is your dream. You finally made it.
I want him to play QB.
All right, let's move on, man. Let's move on. So,
hey,
what's your final position on this?
Griner can play QB. The Seahawks will gladly sign her. It's okay. We need.
I mean, she can be worse than Drew Lock. So there's always that.
Listen,
exactly.
Okay, so my final take on this. Okay, if he is indeed guilty of all those things, throw the book at him, throw him under the jail for all I care, ban him, take away his money, take away his contract. Cool, if he is indeed guilty. However, what I will continue to say about this is the fact that we can't. I know we want. Okay, I know we want to go and leap and say, okay, let's just, I know we want to leap and say, let's protect women, and not do, and when these things happen, and I agree to protect them. However, if all it's taking is allegations in order to, to like fuck up a man's whole life, I think that's a problem on the other direction. So when it comes down to it, and as far as the Deshaun goes, again, morally speaking, hell, don't care. That's it. That's between him and his gods. Morally speaking, that's between him. Like that's not my concern. Legally speaking, if you are guilty, throw the book at him. But if he's not guilty and these are just allegations, or or somebody just people just fishing for money or fame, then yeah.
Can we all agree that more information needs to be released to everyone?
Correct.
Absolutely.
I am waiting to see what the NFL does, now that, because I think they have appealed decision. So I'm waiting to see what they do. And I think we'll talk about it on the next episode, or when they do it or before they do it. Depends.
Of course.
Last but not least, we are going to preview the AFC North. I mean, football's coming, so why not, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's so easy to jump into the AFC North because if we start with the Cleveland Browns, Jesus Christ.
They're just been talking about him for God knows how long.
Right. Yeah. QB1 isn't going to be starting 6 games. So they have figure it out.
Right. Who's the backup?
Let me see. It's he used to play for us.
Josh Rosen?
It's Drew Lock.
No, it's not. It's Jacoby Brissett, Joshua Dobbs, and Josh Rosen. I think they cut Drew Lock. Drew Lock is in
Seattle.
Yeah, he's in Seattle. So
yeah.
QB1 isn't going to be playing. You're down to QB2, Jacoby Brissett or Joshua Dobbs or Josh Rosen. That's who you're going to start. You know who I feel sorry in all of this for? Nicholas Chubb. Because again, he's been screwed out of his fucking prime. He is 5 years in the game. He's been a top running back for 4 of those 5 years. I mean, shit. Like, I was gonna ask who do we have coming out of the division, and that's an answer for you. But that's where we start. Who does everyone have winning this division this year?
So that's a tough decision because I feel if the Ravens' offensive line shows up and their defense actually plays more than 10 games a year, I think the Ravens hands down will win the division and be like 12-5 or 11-6, whatever. But I feel like you have to go through Cincinnati to prove that because Joe Burrows took a step forward last year and showed everybody this is what I can do. Come beat me. So, in my opinion, I think it's going to be Cincinnati, the Ravens, Steelers, and then the Browns. Just because with the Browns not having Deshaun Watson for 6 to whatever games he's out or whatever they decide, they didn't plan on having a backup.
No,
they didn't plan on starting their backup at all.
No.
So, if you say just for shits and giggles, if you lose Deshaun Watson for a year, welcome to being Seattle. Like it's okay. Bill, I was thinking that way before you commented, Bill, so it's okay.
No, appreciate that. Actually, so let me answer this by saying this. So last year, Cincinnati 10-7, Pittsburgh 9-7. Obviously, Big Ben was a starting quarterback at that time. Cleveland 8-9, Baltimore 8-9. And Baltimore did 8-9 without having QB1 finishing the year for them, right? Listen, I think I have Baltimore as the I have Baltimore coming out to the division. I have Baltimore winning the division, and this is what I think. I think the amazing year Joe Burr had last season. I'm not even gonna call him Joe Burr. Joe Burr had last season. Amazing. I'm not gonna take that away from him. Joe Burr. He went to the Super Bowl and everything. I don't think he does that again this year. I do not think he does that again this year. I think all 4 teams in that division have they have amazing defenses, right? All 4 teams have amazing defenses. I think Cincinnati might have the edge in the offense, but I still think the quarterback that has more to prove in that division is Lamar Jackson. And I think Lamar Jackson comes back this year and shows us why he should be getting the money that Kyler got. He should be getting the money that what's his name? Josh Allen is going to be probably getting next year. I think Lamar Jackson comes out and proves and shows us, and he wins that division. He puts the team on his back again and wins the division. Probably not going to win another MVP, but I see him coming out that division. And Cincinnati is going to be behind them. I think Pittsburgh takes a step back because they lost Ben Roethlisberger. I think Cleveland might be able to hang in there might go 3-3 those games and come, but they're going to be third in that division. Nicholas Chubb is going to do his thing. Outside of because if you look at Cleveland, they lost what's his name, the receiver. Help me out. Hollywood.
Odell Beckham.
Yeah. No, Jarvis Landry. They lost Jarvis
Yeah.
Landry as well.
Mm-hmm.
Who would Deshaun Watson be throwing to anyways, right? I think Cleveland is going to be third in the division. Pittsburgh is going to be last.
Well,
I think Myles Garrett's going to love you. If you go back to the what was it 4 years ago when Myles Garrett took his helmet off and hit the Steelers quarterback in the head? Yeah. That was pretty funny.
Oh, Amari Cooper.
Okay.
Amari Cooper. That's right.
You know what, Mo, you've been wrong plenty of times, so it's okay.
I don't think I'm wrong, and I'm probably the only. I like Cleveland.
Mo, again, you've been wrong plenty of times. It's okay. Like I think we have an episode, like titled.
Can we move on? Can we move on?
Okay. So
thank you.
Being that you've been wrong before, it'll be easy for you to be wrong. And Jake, welcome to the club. You're now Mo number 2.
I'm curious on why you're gonna say that.
Yeah,
with that being said,
if you say the Browns are gonna win the division, I'm getting off right now.
I'm getting off the show. You can finish the show out by yourself.
If I said the Browns were gonna win the division, you should get me tested.
Okay.
So,
well, you probably got
I wouldn't say that. No. But what I will say is, Mo, the reason I say you're wrong is because you said Joe Burrow cannot have another season like that. He's not gonna have another season like that again. First of all, Macaulay Culkin, all grown up, just came from the Super Bowl. Okay. That man has proven that he can do it. That man got sacked 9 times in the AFC Championship. Still came up with that W. You know how many quarterbacks can get sacked 9 times?
Tom Brady.
I was about to say your guy, Thomas Edward Brady. Go ahead. Aaron Rodgers,
which
done it before.
Which means if he can be in a conversation with guys like
let's not do that. You know what? I regret actually answering that question because you're gonna do that. Skip business. But go ahead.
He could be in a conversation with guys like Thomas Patrick Edward Brady Jr., well, the third to be exact.
You notice whenever Watson says Tom Brady, his voice gets deeper, like he's trying to be like, yeah, that's my boy.
Yeah, he is. I don't know who's trying to prove that to
Look at him. I'm going to pay for that on leg day, but it's okay.
Good. Because just so you know, next time we deadlift, you're going to deadlift 500. Or you're going to try to, so let's go.
Anyway. Get your prediction.
Bill, be patient, okay? You're going to get the prediction. Be patient. No, but for me, it's Bengals. Bengals gonna win that division, and that's with Ravens full team playing however they play. Bengals gonna win that division. Ravens come right after them, and then Browns shortly after that, and Steelers is gonna be last in that division.
So I mean, you pretty much have what Bill and Jake have. You just swapped the
Browns.
No.
It was close, but
you swapped out the Browns and the Steelers. Like, so you're number 1 and number 2 of the Bengals and the Ravens.
Bengals and Ravens, yes.
Yeah, hey, Mo, are you Canadian? Because you keep saying the Bills. I don't get it. After Watson last week, the Bills being Canadian's team, I get it. It's okay.
The Bills are Canada's team. Are you kidding me? Have you been to Buffalo? Buffalo is a hop, skip, and a jump away from Canada.
All right, so back on topic for Bill. So basically, we agree that it's going to be not the Browns. It's going to be the Bengals.
Ravens.
Then it's going to be the Ravens because Lamar Jackson's a hell of a quarterback. Then
Bill, here's the thing. There's only 4 teams. There's only so many orders we could do with those teams. being that, Browns suck. The Steelers suck. Like, well, no, Steelers suck. The Browns are gonna suck because they don't have a quarterback for the first 6 games outside of Jacoby Brissett and Josh Rosen. The only options was, Bengals won or Ravens won. So there wasn't too many options to go. So yeah, I didn't totally copy you, Bill.
No,
you see Bill, their Bill's like hating. He's like, I can't stand Jake right now. Just get him off the show. It's okay.
Okay, and I have to ask though. So obviously, you already kind of answered that because you said Joe Burrow is gonna have the exact same season or even better, right?
Yeah.
Jake, why do you have Cincinnati as number one?
Joe Burrow and T.Y. Hilton. T.Y. Hilton. Is it T.Y. Hilton or am I misguided?
You mean T. Higgins?
Jamar?
Yeah, there we go.
T. Higgins and Jamar Chase?
No. Jamar Chase, and then what's the other guy? I can't remember his name.
Higgins. T. Higgins.
Higgins, yeah. Higgins, yeah, not T.Y. Hilton. He's Colts or whatever he is.
Yeah,
I think if you have those two wide receivers, especially Jamar Chase, because last year was his rookie season, right? I feel besides DK Metcalf.
Yeah, he was a rookie last year, yes, and he put up God numbers, yes.
I feel like because I feel like Jamar Chase is going to be the next DK Metcalf. Physically, speed wise,
I think he has a higher ceiling than that because he has a better quarterback throwing to him than DK. I think again.
Russell Wilson for the first 3 years of his career?
2 years. 2 years.
But he also missed. Russell Wilson also missed some games.
Right.
Injured. Offensive line was questionable. So
hey,
again,
what's in? We're not on the NFC West. We're in the AFC. Get back to that. It's okay.
So I'm gonna ask you.
Your trash ass quarterback and team, bro. You mentioned your trash.
But I'm gonna ask you. So how did the reason I say the Bengals might not make that might not come out the division as number one is outside of their offensive line. I think that's where else did they get better? Because they didn't get better.
Well, here's the counter.
If you pass the ball, you can pass the ball on them.
What did they lose?
Super Bowl?
What did they lose?
You said outside the offensive line, what did they gain? An offensive line, sir. Joe Burrow didn't have no time to throw the ball, and now you're giving them time, and you're giving them amazing receivers. What do you mean?
He has the same exact receivers he had last year. He has. Maybe because we haven't seen this line play in an official NFL game. Maybe a better offensive line, but he still has the same corners the team still has the same corners they had. They still have the same linebackers they have. They didn't get much better in the defensive part of the football. And honestly, I know we're gonna say yes, offense is great, but defense wins championships.
No, it doesn't.
As you see how they lost the Super Bowl.
That's a lie. Defense is not win championship.
Eli Apple got burned twice. In Eli Apple got burned twice. That's their CB cornerback one. That's their best corner.
Well, hold on, Mo. There's only been more like 10 teams in NFL history that have proven that defense wins championships. Everything else has been in the last 20 years. It's been Tom Brady. Let's give Watson credit right there.
Well, hold on.
Tom Brady's
okay. Let's see. 28-3. That was, I would say, all defense. I would say because their defense. Hold on. The defense tightened up because if you go back and look at that game, there's a pick six in that game. Go back and look. There's a pick six in that game. The 28-3 Falcons game when they beat the Eagles. The Eagles was a better offense than them.
There's no pick six in that game. 28-3. There's no pick six in that game.
All right. Hold on. Let me see. While I'm making my point, can someone research this? Because anyways,
go ahead. Keep talking.
Okay, so if you 85 Bears best defense that never won the Super Bowl. Okay, let me see. In the past 10 years,
Bill must be from Chicago. I'm just saying that it's okay.
The Colts, I'm pretty sure Bill is from Chicago at this point.
It's okay to have a bad team, Bill. I get it. I'm a Seahawks fan.
Wow. I'm sorry. No, but when the Seahawks won, they had the better defense. When Russell Wilson was a rookie, that offense didn't. The Legion of Boom.
By the way, when the Seahawks lost, they also had the better defense. Continue.
But
well, that's also because they made a stupid move and didn't pass.
Thank
They
you
didn't
very
run
much.
it.
You don't pass it.
Mo. By the way, I apologize. There was a pick six against Tom Brady in that game, and fucking still lost. Continue.
That's okay. So I mixed it up. But the defense tightened up when the defense needed to tighten up for them to win that game, because they don't win that game if that defense didn't tighten up. I don't care what anyone says, because the Falcons just stopped scoring. How does that happen? Defense.
The quarterback.
When the Ravens won, defense, they had the better defense.
2012. That's it.
So
2012.
Yeah, when they beat
2012 when the Ravens won. 2014 when the Seahawks won.
Correct.
That was defense. Everything else has not been defense.
That's not true, because when Tom Brady won his seventh, when he went to Tampa Bay, that was defense, because Pat Mahomes didn't know what to do that game. First of all, he had a bad offensive line. He was playing hurt. They should have won. They should have beat the crap out of Tom Brady, so I don't have to hear shit from Wetson for another 2 years. Listen,
hold on. For Wetson's defense, should have and did completely different.
I know. I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't know how to breathe when they. Are you serious right now, Wetson?
Is he gonna drop it?
I'm about to mute you. I'll be muted. You to just. All I'm saying is there is a case study for defense winning championships.
And it's wrong.
I think there is a bigger case study for defense winning championships. When Peyton Manning won his last Super Bowl, he didn't win it because he was the most dynamic quarterback in that game. He won it because he had Von Miller chasing down Cam Newton, and Cam Newton can do anything because they had the better offense. When we beat the Bears,
I'm sorry. You saying Carolina had the better offense in that game?
They had a better offense, because that was the year Peyton Manning was he just looked
Carolina in 2015 when they lost to the Broncos had a better offense than the Broncos. Even though Carolina
coming into that game, they had the better offenses. I'm not saying they had a better offense that season coming into that game, because you saw Peyton Manning not be able to make throws in the playoffs, and his defense bailed him out a lot of times. That's what you saw that playoff season, that year in the playoffs. That's what I'm talking about.
You know who that doesn't happen to?
I don't want to fucking hear it, man. I don't want to fucking hear it, because one of them had a neck injury and the other didn't. So when you have to make throws down the field, you can't do it because you have to get bone fusion.
Well, hold on. What wasn't Peyton Manning in 2015? Wasn't he like 39 or 40 years old, something like that? Wasn't he like football age old?
Yes, he was old. He was very old.
So one thing I know personally, and I think Wetson agrees, is once you hit the age of like 30, 35, your body.
You know what Wetson is about to say right now? Like, I already know what he's gonna say. He's gonna bring up that dude in Tampa. He's 44 years old.
Hey, hold on. Tom Brady is a whole different monster, though. I mean, he retired. His wife started asking for money. Gas prices went up, and he came back to play football. So
like, he must really enjoy having CTE, because ain't nothing at that age is bringing me back to this sport, especially if I couldn't win it because my defense gave up stupid. Like, they gave Cooper Kupp. They just said, go win a Super Bowl, literally.
Hey, real quick, all great stuff to Cooper Kupp, because I went to high school with him. So moving on now. It's okay.
Okay. Now, here's the thing, right? We mentioned a couple of things about Peyton Manning when they lost that Super Bowl, reason why he couldn't throw downfield and all that stuff like that. You said he was 39, 40 years old. There was a guy, and I can't remember his name off the top of my head, who won his last Super Bowl at the age of 44.
Oh my God!
I don't remember who that guy was, but anyway, doesn't matter.
God! You know what? Thank you, Bill. Thank you for helping us come back. We're supposed to be talking. We're supposed to be talking about.
Bill, our egos got
about
in the way.
Bill. What more do you want? We already give you the lineup.
No. I think the question why we got so sidetracked was I asked how did the Bengals get better. I don't think they got that much better in their defense, and I think because, listen. I think Wetson, we were arguing last week, and I said, why is Lamar better than Josh Allen? And I said, Lamar, you see Josh Allen makes the throws and Lamar can't, right? And I think because the NFL is in this stage right now where throwing the football 30, 40 yards, like just throwing the football is where it's at. You have to be better in your corners. You have your linebackers have to be able to cover. And I mean, yes, they can probably score with you, but if it's all about if I can stop you from scoring 1 or 2 times and I can score those 1 or 2 times, I win the game. And I don't think the Bengals can stop anybody from scoring 1 or 2 times.
Well, here's a question for you, Mo, right there. Who do you think has the best defense in the AFC North? I'm going to mention one name, and I already mentioned him once, and this is why I think the Browns have the best defense right now.
Yeah,
that's Myles Garrett. He's a beast. Myles Garrett, hands down, is a beast.
Now, being that Browns are the best defense in defense win championship, but yet between the three of us, we all have the Browns as either 3 or 4 in that division. That's interesting, isn't it?
It is very interesting.
Defense.
My point is because defense. I never said defense.
He didn't say that. I did.
That was Mo.
That was 100%.
No, I know. I'm talking more.
I think that if the Browns had a Deshaun Watson for the whole year, the Browns would easily be 10 for 7, 11 for 6 up there with them because Deshaun Watson. If he was in any other team besides the Texans and his first was it 5 or 6 years, Deshaun Watson would be a top tier quarterback. Right now, he's a good quarterback.
He would,
but he's not an elite quarterback. He's about to make that change, that leap or whatever.
Okay,
I believe, but he's dealing with all the bullshit right now.
So I'll give you this for a second.
Hold on.
Okay.
The numbers say Deshaun Watson is indeed an elite quarterback. I think he had 2 seasons where he threw over 5,000 yards, and the other one where he threw like, I think 4,500 plus in both of those seasons. The numbers say Deshaun Watson is an elite quarterback. He played in a terrible team, and he was still able to play like most top 10 quarterbacks in the league played during that time. And so so with that being said, if the Browns had Deshaun Watson the entire season with none of the BS, I think they could have won that division. Possibly.
So
that goes back on what your boy Brady. What wins titles? Winning or stats? Because quarterbacks going to go throw 1 touchdown and throw 4 interceptions and still win.
Yes.
So
we've actually seen
what's better? Obviously, winning's better. But if you have horrible statistics or whatever, and you're still winning, that doesn't make you a great quarterback. That makes you just whatever.
Except he's had great stats, and if you look
at the Texans. The Texans haven't had a winning season in 2 years
because they were a terrible team. Outside of that, it wasn't because again we're talking football here. Football is ultimate team sports, and outside of Deshaun Watson, the Texans had that no bright spot for them. They haven't had a decent running back since what's his name? Since
Arian Foster.
Since Arian Foster. They haven't had a decent running back.
They haven't had a decent receiver since.
I agree, but if you just bringing up my Seahawks last year, they had Russell Wilson, but they didn't have he was a great quarterback. We all agree that Wilson is a good quarterback. So if you look at Wilson as a great quarterback, but he was on a bad Seahawks team, what did Seattle do last year? They were horrible.
Yes.
So Deshaun Watson could be a great quarterback. Statistics wise, look at Dan Marino. What did he do? Have that 17-0 season or whatever, but he didn't win the title.
Okay.
But if you look at Tom Brady had that undefeated season, and he what was that?
He didn't win the title.
He lost too, but if you look back at that, because all the titles that he has, that's people can say either that's the season that got away, or that's just another chip on his shoulder could being a great quarterback.
When you have 7 Super Bowl rings, is it possible to have a season that got away?
Let me ask this question.
If you go 17-0 and don't win the Super Bowl, yes, that season got away.
Marlon Humphreys, right? You have Marlon Humphreys on one side, you have Kyle Fuller on the other, you have Marcus Peters, you have Chuck Clark as your safety. I think if everyone, because again, The Ravens went 8-7 last year, I believe, right? 8-9. I'm sorry, 8-9. They were 2 games out, right? I think Lamar healthy. Yes, you lose Hollywood Brown, but obviously, what was Hollywood Brown doing for you? Nothing. You have what's his name at running back? J.K. Dobbins, right? Lamar's back healthy. Everyone is healthy because you lost J.K. Dobbins really pretty much early in that season, and he was emerging. He was an emerging running back, right? I think if they come back healthy, that defense comes back healthy. I think they have a better chance of winning the division over the Cincinnati Bengals. And let's be real, the Cincinnati Bengals have done this before, right? TJ Houshmandzadeh.
Who's your mama?
I was so close, right? Chad. Do we call him? Was he Johnson or Ochocinco at the time?
He was both.
Yeah. And you had Carson, right? It was Carson Palmer.
Carson Palmer's with the Bengals, yeah.
Yeah, and that was the offense they had, right? They've done this before. They've shown you that they can win the division. And what happened the year after they won the division? Nothing. I'm telling you, Wetson, I can't hear you.
Wetson, you're muted, bro.
Oh, I was saying the Bengals won one playoff game before Joe Burrow. Like the last time they won
and
one,
it wasn't even that team I mentioned.
The last time they won one was before Joe Burrow was born. Was it 1992 or 1990? Last time they won a playoff game.
Yeah, but they won the division. They won the division with Carson, TJ, and Chad.
Yeah, but we all know that you can win divisions, but it's the playoffs that matters.
Right. So all I'm saying is they've shown that they can. I'm not putting my faith in the Bengals this year. I think it was a great season. I think it was a great season because again, the division they have to come out of, right? With Ben was done. Like I think the division was handed to them. What's his name? Lamar was in and out, and then he was finally hurt, and he couldn't finish out the season. I think the division was handed to them. I think you have everyone healthy. Finally, it's going to be a run for the money. I don't see them just breaking back outside of that division because, again, outside of the offensive line, which is great, everyone needs a great offensive line because you need your quarterback to be able to throw the ball. Outside of the offensive line tightening up, I don't see how you got better on any side of the football field, and you still have to run away from Clowney and Myles Garrett for 2 games.
Okay.
My thing with that is that even if we do the predictions like we did,
right,
at the end of the day, it's called any given Sunday for a reason, which means anybody could win. The worst teams can beat the best teams. It all depends on so many factors: the weather, who did the best pregame stuff, blah blah blah. So at the end of it, we can make all these predictions that we feel like and whatnot, talk all the shit about Tom Brady, all that good stuff. But at the end of the day, until the football season actually comes and we see Wetson be horribly wrong with his predictions.
How dare a Seahawks fan talk about Tom Brady?
You have Drew Lock as your quarterback. I think you need to relax.
Hey, according to Bill, we need to stay on topic and talk about the AFC North right now, okay, gentlemen?
Right. But you mentioned Tom Brady, who's not in the AFC North.
Hey. So, at least I can admit that we're gonna be in last place. It's okay.
You had no choice.
I'm not a Washington Nationals fan that just lost Juan Soto and they're crying. It's okay.
I mean, again, that's bad, and then there's Washington Nationals bad. So there's levels to this.
Yeah. I mean, Seahawks should just step above the Washington Nationals.
If we're talking bad, we're talking there's bad, there's worse. Then there's Drew Lock, and then there's Washington Nationals.
Thank you, Wetson. I appreciate you. So one more time before we go, Wetson, you said Bengals, Ravens, Browns, Steelers.
Yes.
Jake, you said Bengals, Ravens, Steelers, Browns. I said Ravens, Bengals, Browns, and Steelers. Yes. Correct. All right. So that's the prediction for the NFC North. We're going to be doing this.
Hold on. Don't say NFC North. That's the AFC North.
Yeah, I'm sorry. For the AFC North, we're going to be doing this every week or however, whatever, every week till the season comes out.
You guys have 7 more weeks. It's okay.
Right.
Yeah. We got time.
Yeah, we got time. Hopefully we can get Jake to come back. We'll probably have to throw in baseball and Seattle There's a reason I didn't want, because when I'll be honest with you, Jake. So Wetson goes, Jake is coming on. I'm like, who's Jake? And I was like, is he the person that said I was wrong last week, or was it last week or 2 weeks ago? And he's like, yeah, it was him. And I was like, great, no baseball this week. We're not talking about so, yes.
Listen,
I could have been the bigger person.
I was listening and I was like, he's wrong with this. 2001, we had 20-game win streak. I was naming off all the stuff, and I was like, wow, Watson's really correct. Mo's wrong with a lot of stuff.
It was I don't care about the Mariners. I really don't. Sorry. Like, I'm not gonna lose sleep. I'm sorry, Bill. Yes, you do. Bill, you gotta mention, because Bill came up with the predictions first. So everyone apart from myself copied off of Bill. Bill, Bengals, Ravens. So we have 2 people that go Bengals, Ravens, Steelers, and Browns. Yes. I'm super excited to see how that goes. I'm super excited.
Just for Bill, because he's gonna say Bill and the copycat Jake. It's okay.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. I'm actually gonna write this down for when the season comes. I can't wait.
Oh, please.
Oh, I can't wait to play fantasy football against you guys and beat you. It's okay.
Oh, you know what? That's also what we should do, right? As we should do pick'ems before every week, and so we will do that as well. No, but thank you very much, Jake, for coming. We will definitely throw baseball in next time.
It's okay, because I got a lot to say about the Nationals. It's okay.
On that note, Wetson didn't tell me to prepare myself for this. I'm definitely switching on my hat for the next show. I can't go through this, but no, thank you very much. Thank you.
So hold on, me and Weston, we have like a 45-minute drive to the gym, and it's nothing but us talking shit to each other about the Yankees and the Mariners or whatever. So be prepared next time. I'm going to be talking some smack. It's okay.
Oh crap! And you know what? Thank you very much for coming. I'm definitely ready. We will be doing more NFL. I mean, baseball season is on, so we'll be doing more baseball. Thank you very much for everyone that watched and everyone that commented. I really appreciate all the comments and everyone that watched. Thank you very much, Jake, for coming through. Wetson, as always, it's really good to do this with you. We will catch you on the next one.
All right, thank you, Bill. Have fun, Bill.
Iguodala to Curry, back to Iguodala, up for the layup. Oh, blocked by James. LeBron James with the rejection. Irving and Curry, one-on-one. Irving puts it up. It's good. Kyrie Irving from downtown. And the Cavaliers by 3. Cleveland's long sports nightmare has ended. The drought is over.
I pour my heart, my blood, my sweat, my tears to this game, and Cleveland, this is for you. Oh.
Oh, go ahead. Do your little intro.